what's your kind of view of where fuel cells fit? Do they fit in a stationary power application? Are they only a fit in transportation? Like, what's your read of and what type of fuel? Let's pause there just for a minute, because I think you bring a lot of
Yeah.
experience to the fuel cell discussion.
Yeah, that's a great question. Fuel cell, I mean, I was drawn to fuel cells because the fundamental chemistry, the overall chemical equation, if you will, is fundamentally simple, right? You're combining hydrogen and air or oxygen and making water and electricity. So I was really drawn to that. I said, this is, could be all solid state, no moving parts. This is really cool technology. As I got into it, of course, once you dig into the actual what's going on inside that fuel cell, it's much more complicated than that. There's all kinds of materials and different states of matter, excuse me, gas, liquid, and solid, and you got to manage all that. So I think the fundamentals of fuel cells are still true. I mean, it's still a generally solid state technology, minimal moving parts. It has the potential, and really, I think we've proven in the market now that it can exceed, availability of mechanical equipment, minimize service calls and things like that, and achieve high efficiencies and all that. The problem in the market is still a cost problem. So it's a chicken or egg situation. It's, if you look at the volumes of let's say high efficiency gas engines versus the volumes of fuel cells that are sold. I mean, it's just, you got to get that volume to get the cost down, and you're not going to get the volume until you get the cost down, of course.
Right.
In the meantime, one misconception I had in the fuel cell industry is I thought that engines had kind of hit their peak and they'd seen their limit for efficiency and such, and that's not really true. I mean, people are really advancing these high efficiency gas engines, and they're achieving incredible efficiency and low cost and such. So it's I don't know if that totally answers your question. I think fundamentally it's still a cost problem to me.
Sure.
For fuel cells.
I think you're speaking to, this is a broad space with energy, and every situation is unique, right? And there are so many technologies. And so for folks like yourselves and for us, and for those who are evaluating different options, there are a lot of options, and we need to cast a wide net. Is there a particular space where you see, like, is it the smaller end? Is it more of a multi-res or a small institutional application that fits for a fuel cell application in a stationary power play?
Yeah, I would say for stationary, to me, there's a kind of a mid-size range where it's the best technical fit. I think from what we've seen in engine products on the market, for example, there's they really start hitting their high efficiency at, let's say, 400 or 500 kilowatts, just very generally speaking, right? So and then as you get to the big multi-megawatt engines, you can really achieve some high efficiency. So I think electrical efficiency is one of the biggest drivers for selection of technology in our space. So if I stick with that metric, the size where a fuel cell can really fit is in that, up to a couple megawatts, hundreds of kilowatts up to a couple megawatt size, because they can really scale. They actually scale a lot better than combustion technologies in terms of electrical efficiency. You can go smaller with a fuel cell and still retain pretty high electrical efficiency.